Good morning. I wanted to share with you thoughts on the subtleties and the power of words. There may be small differences in two words or actions, but how they manifest or how they empower you can be so different. And words are power, words are spells in your life. So being aware of the words you use with yourselves especially can be a very powerful change in your life. How do you speak to yourself in your head? That was one of the things I personally really had to work on, remind myself to be kind within my own head, because I was kind to others, but I was very judgmental to myself. I recently learned about the difference of judging something or someone and making an assessment. Two words that are very similar in meaning, but one is very rigid and set. Once you judge something, it's almost like you put a label on it and that's it. And to rejudge something takes a lot of effort. But when you make an assessment, it's almost like you're taking a snapshot of that moment and you're looking at it a bit more distance. You're like, okay, this is what it is right now in this moment. And you know it can change, but at this moment, this is where we're at. Just thinking about those two words, they create very different feelings within my body and within my mind. So this morning, I encourage you to look at your own life and see how maybe you can soften your judgments and take stock, assess the moments so that you can truly see where you're at and give you the flexibility and the fluidity to refocus, change directions, or even to decide, hey, this is actually really nice where I'm at right now. It took me maybe a little bit this morning. My body wanted to sleep more. My mind knew it had some things to do, especially wanting to get this video done before I had to be out the door. But I felt so scattered. I was like, what do I talk about? And I had a couple ideas in my head, but then I couldn't stay focused. I did my breath of life meditation, and then I couldn't stay focused. I did it for a few breaths. My mind started wandering. Felt very, very scattered. And then I was okay, let's refocus. Let's actually do the meditation. And it was interesting because I was not just scattered and having to spend extra energy onto the refocusing, but also doing the meditation, pulling in the energy into my body. I could feel it, that it was meeting resistance. It was causing a little bit of dizziness and tingling. It just showed me that I wasn't centered in myself. My energy was too pulled in too many different directions, so it wasn't stable. And if I judge that as, hey, how did I let this happen again? Why didn't I center myself? Why am I here again? It would bring feelings into my body that I don't like. It's a judgment, that harshness. And then I'm more out of the loop. I'm more out of my center through that judgment. So this morning, instead of judging that, I was like, hey, this is where we're at. Okay, maybe I need a few extra moments. So I thought I was ready. I started my first video. This is my second recording this morning. And then partway through, the cat meows and wants to go out. I'm like, oh no, she's not gonna keep quiet until I let her out. So I decided to abandon that first video and stepped outside with the cat. And I spent a few minutes just looking at the scenery, listening to the birds, really regrounding myself into the space. And even though that was maybe 5-6 minutes, which is about the same time as my breath of life meditation, it was much easier to take that moment to focus outside of myself, focus into nature, and thus be more grounded. And that simple assessment allowed me to take the time to make the adjustments, to come into a better space within myself, to actually feel better, feel good within me. So I just invite you to take a breath and make an assessment. Take a snapshot of where you're at. And whenever you need to, just make another assessment. Because that is only a moment in time. As a check-in with yourself about where you're at. No judgment. No plans. Nothing of where you need to be. Only where you are at in this moment and of time. Because that's where we live, is in the moment. That's where we can create change. And that's where our most creative power lies. So be your most powerful selves in every moment. And that is exactly where you're at. That's where your power is. Love you all and happy day.